Hey guys, 8-Bit here, and welcome to my first 8-Bits Encyclopedia of B.S. Basically, first episode here is going to be, as you can see, Need for Speed 2015. And specifically, the mission called Javelin, where you have to beat Amy using Nakai-san's Porsche 911 RM whatever. It's an absolute garbage car. It's just trash. I don't know how else to explain it. It goes really, really slow, really crap acceleration. It's grip style, and the infinite wisdom of EA to make it grip style, even though grip style has the worst case of understeering ever in this game. And they also made it to where the NOS is not time-filled, but action-filled, so you have to do slipstreams and drifts in order to fill it up. And on the other side of that token, they made Amy a freaking rocket ship who can apparently out-accelerate and outspeed you almost in an instant. It's ridiculously crazy how fast she is. And at first, I thought, what could be going on here? Why is this happening? Is it happening to just me? Or, is it a bug or something? Then I started digging into YouTube and into forums, discussions between EA and fans. And what I found out on these forums is basically that the EA is saying that it is intended to be this difficult. I personally don't understand what they mean by that. They say that the only reason you should be hitting 130 is if your controller's broken. So I go through and do this several times with 4 different controllers, and got the same result every single time. So that leads me to believe that they're full of it, because my controllers can't all possibly be broken. It's just very unlikely. But on the off chance that they were, I called up a friend and had him do the same thing. And just like me, all of his controllers gave the same result. Slow car, very fast Amy. And so I started looking up on things on YouTube and found out that if you have the deluxe edition, your car hit 170 miles an hour as opposed to 130. And only if you had bought in the deluxe edition. That started to lead me to believe that they had implemented a pay-to-win scheme here. And normally that wouldn't be a big deal, especially since the races, you don't have to do all of the different styles. But Amy's is an extremely important set of missions to complete, because in order to unlock all the parts for your cars, you have to beat the Amy missions. And digging even further, even into the basic game itself, I found things that they weren't right. So let's take the Nakai-san's 911 Porsche here. If you go into the store, and I'll bring that up here in a bit, I checked out the unupgraded version of this car compared to Nakai-san's upgraded version of this car. I also compared the 3 starting cars' stats with no upgrades to this car. And you will be surprised as to what I found out. So basically what I did here in this particular segment is I tested how long it took to go from 0 to 60. And it took about 7.25 seconds to hit 60 miles an hour from a dead stop. That seemed awfully slow to me, but hey, maybe I can go through and find stats, and maybe I'm just mistiming things, whatever. After that, I hit NOS on this car just to get to top speed as fast as possible. And what I found out is that the fastest I could get it to go was 132, and that was only for a split second. And that's going on a straightaway with very little turning, so there should be 0 excuses for it to not go to a maximum speed of 170 if that's what EA is claiming it can do. So it tells me that they changed the speed of the car to hit 130 for whatever reason. And that to me was a little dumb. And then I went to go and try drifting. Right here I do the brake drift, and brake drift didn't work. I tried to do square drifting, which is the EA brake right there. I couldn't get it to drift. And so up here I hit both basic brake and E-brake at the same time, and I got it to do kind of a little fishtail for a minor kind of driftiness. And it was a terrible drift. This is coming from a guy who does a drift build through the game. The car is absolute garbage. And from here, we're going to go and compare the 7.25 seconds for 0 to 60 and top speed with the other cars. So here I am comparing 3 starting cars, and as you can see, 0 to 60 for one of the first starting cars is 6.69. That is ridiculous. It's already faster than an upgraded Porsche. 5.69 for the starting muscle car that you can get. Why is the acceleration so much better? That's ridiculous. And a top speed of 140 for this muscle car. Unupgraded, it's already faster than an upgraded Porsche. Now this is the fastest car, or the fastest, or the other starting car, and it's still got a higher acceleration and a better top speed. Now I'm going to go find the Porsche, unupgraded Porsche, that he's using, which should be right about here. Look at that. 4.77 to 0 to 60, unupgraded. Why is the upgraded version, slower? I go to find another Porsche just to make sure I am looking at the right one, and the only other old school I could find was this one, and that definitely wasn't it. I think that was the only other old school I could find. Yeah, it's the only old school one I could find aside from the 911. And I did check the Nagai Sons thing. It is the 911. But it's freaking ridiculous. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And the top speed of 178 miles an hour unupgraded. So I want to know how an upgraded version of this car is both slower top speed and slower acceleration. That's for you to decide whether or not you think I'm full of it, just freaking out, or if EA is genuinely pulling some shady stuff. Anyway, as always, I hope to see you guys next time, and remember to keep on gaming. Peace out.
Excuse me, what?